Welcome back to Living Passionately with Pat Brown. Guys, you know how excited I am on the subject of living in gratitude. And today I am so excited to bring an expert on the channel to speak to us on the transformative power of gratitude. Guys, today we have Dr. Michael Christie on the show with us. Dr. Christie offers coaching and training to individuals, nonprofits, and schools, as well as corporations on a variety of transformational topics such as race relations, stress, resilience, conflict resolution, communication, the mind of Christ, mindfulness, and nonviolent communication. His recent workshop was on the pursuit of happiness and the transformative power of gratitude. So welcome, Dr. Christie. I am so excited to have you and greatly appreciate you taking the time to come today and speak to us on the topic of the transformative power of gratitude. So welcome today to Living Passionately with Pat Brown. I am so elated to have Dr. Michael Christie on the video today with us, our channel rather. Dr. Christie is a certified mindfulness meditation instructor and also a member of the International Mindful Teachers Association. He is trained in several modalities, including emotional freedom techniques, EFT, and neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, master practitioner. So Dr. Christie, welcome to Living Passionately with Pat Brown. I really appreciate you taking the time out today. Today, we're going to start off talking about transformational power of gratitude. Can you expand on that a bit for us?
Yeah, thank you. So, stumble upon is not the right word. I think for many of us, particularly folks from the Black and Brown community, and folks that have a strong faith tradition, gratitude and giving thanks has always been something that we were taught coming up. As a matter of fact, at the dinner table, we went to the infamous "God is good, God is great, let us thank Him for our food, amen," which we often as children rush through so we can get to the food. And we were not really at all in touch with gratitude. As an adult, I became more aware of the power of being grateful. And certainly as an ordained clergy, gratitude is a very big part of my faith tradition as well, being thankful and giving thanks and noticing to give thanks. And my mindfulness practice really kind of expanded what that meant for me. So I discovered that one of the things, I took a course, I believe it was from Yale, that talked about the pursuit of happiness. This is one of the workshops that I offer. And essentially, there's all these components to happiness. And a lot of it has little to do with what we believe happiness is. But one of the things that was very, almost single-handedly, profoundly impact one's happiness is gratitude. So when we develop a habit of gratitude, it literally by itself will raise our sense, our resilience, raise our happiness, raise how we feel about life. It will change how we look at the world. And I believe, I don't know if this is really studied yet, that it would actually help to rewire our thinking, our brains. That's how powerful gratitude is. And all of the spiritual practices, whether it's Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, gratitude is a very big part of all of those practices. And we know, particularly in mindfulness and meditation, there are lots of practices or meditation practices where you're just being thankful. So I think if there's one way you can change your life is to be grateful. So our brain, we've discovered through neuroscience, our brain is wired to notice what is wrong. That's how we survive as human beings throughout the course of history, right? When we were in caves with, looking out for saber-tooth tigers or whatever else that might eat us, have us for dinner, we're constantly on the lookout as we have evolved as human beings, and we are now the hunter instead of the hunted, we still have that part of our brain constantly looking out for danger. It's called it's in what's called the primal part of our primitive part of our brain. Often hear the word the amygdala, which is our responsible for our fight flight. So when we are triggered, it tells us either to run or to fight.
Right.
That part of us is forever looking around the world, scanning to see what is wrong. It doesn't necessarily value as much when things are going right. It just notices when things are wrong. And so that's why we're so often triggered and so often stuck in what's wrong, noticing what's wrong. And you might have a conversation with someone or have done something to somebody, and they'll point out to you what you did wrong to them and forgot the 10 things you did right. The 10 they'll just remember and notice and highlight what you did wrong.
You're so right about that. Yeah. Yeah. We hear that so often, that people will forget all the good things that you've ever done, and then they'll point to the one thing that you did wrong and continue to harp on that one thing instead of being grateful for so many things that you've done in the past. Yeah. Why do you think, like you said, wired a couple of times, you think that's just the way we are made up?
Some people are more happy or prone to gratitude, or you have folks that are optimistic all the time. They notice that the glass is half full and not glass half empty. But they're rare, right? They're not like the common folks. So what has happened to our brains over the course of the time is that literally whatever you fire together, there's a concept that whatever you fire together wires together, right? So whatever you think about a lot literally gets wired in the brain for easy access, right? And so if over the course of time we just notice what is wrong, we're reminded generationally to pay attention to what is wrong, because if gratitude is not celebrated in our homes, meaning that our parents and those that are caring for us don't kind of redirect us when we're stuck in noticing what's wrong, then we train that part of us to be very good. And so as adults, and even not even adults, just through the course of life, what do we do with children when they're coming up? We don't focus on what is right, we focus on what is wrong.
Right, I'll put it
Yes, we're constantly correcting them to pay attention to what is wrong, to pay attention to danger, to pay attention to crossing the street, to always looking out for danger. That's kind of what we teach them.
Wow, yeah.
So we become adults always looking for what is wrong. So in our relationships with our spouses, we'll notice what is wrong quicker than we notice that, okay, I asked them to not leave his clothes, right? I hear that a lot from women about their spouses leaving their stuff all over the place. And he didn't do it. He said he was going to, and he didn't. But you notice nothing else that the guy actually was trying to do, and he did it right? So, but you know what he did? Take the garbage out, and he did go get the groceries, and he did do some other things, to counter the narrative that all he's doing is not doing what you're requesting.
Wow.
So then we live in that space and we become very good at it. So now it's not even an unconscious effort. We just we're on automatic in terms of knowing what is wrong. We have to re-engineer our minds and our beings and our thinking. And part of how we do that is many of ways. As spiritual people, we do that through our faith and through prayer, but you also do it with having an intentionality about noticing what is it to celebrate in life. I have two rules and two practices that I tell people.
Okay.
Whenever you mourn something, whenever you mourn it and whatever you notice there's something is wrong, you also have to celebrate something and notice where something is good. That is embodying, not embodying is not the right word, because that's an important word we need to talk about, how to embody gratitude, but to create the balance and to begin to rewire your mind's thinking, because what you wire together, what you fire together, wire together. So now when you start to think about more positive things, your brain starts to think, oh, I need to start to think about more positive things. And it gives your mind a pathway. So there's an option for you. So it's not just to go directly to what's negative. You might pause and think, what is the what's the good in this situation, even though it might be a bad situation.
Right. That is so true. And I have to tell you that over the past year or so, I've been very, very specific about practicing gratitude on a daily basis. And I can tell you that it has truly changed my life and how I look at life and look at people, or even someone making a mistake. Like before, I would have been so unforgiving, basically, but that I find that I'm able to forgive easier and move on from the situation, or even from the person if I need to, but not to harbor like that anger, or I don't want to say the word hatred because that's so strong, but whatever those negative feelings that I might be having towards an individual or something, that I find that since I've been practicing gratitude on a daily basis, it's really it's much easier to move past situations that I would not have been able to do like some years ago. Yeah. So that is one thing. And here you're talking about re-engineering of our minds. Like, to do that, it took a lot of work, I must say. Like journaling every day, finding at least 3 things to be grateful for, those type of things, that has really, really helped me. But I want you to expand a little bit more on how to embody gratitude.
Yeah. So for most people, when we say gratitude, we think of, saying thank you, or being grateful. And really, like, somebody does something kind for you, like, thank you, I really appreciate that, I'm grateful. That is one level of gratitude. To embody gratitude is to literally feel gratitude. Like, how does gratitude show up in your body? It's not in your head, it's in your body, right? So to feel what that is, like when you're really grateful, when you really appreciate something, we never pay attention to how it feels in our body. Like, get to know that feeling, like, oh wow, that really felt special. Right? That you're, yes. Yeah, you feel
here. It is. Yeah, you really do. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Just got me a bit anxious.
Yes. Right? So it's not. If you want to deepen your sense of gratitude, then you embody it. And when you embody it, that's when the healing starts. Embodying gratitude will literally, I believe, heal your body, right? It certainly will lower your blood pressure because you're not overly anxious anymore. You're like grateful. That warm, loving feeling that you have, that sense of gratitude that you feel, it kind of just warms your heart and spread. Calms your nervous system down, calms your blood pressure down, makes you more hopeful, makes you more compassionate and more open to people. And for those of us who wants to live spiritual lives and your faith matters to you, this is profound in terms of how you engage your faith in the world. If you can live in the sense of gratitude, if you can notice all of where God's fingerprint is in your life and all the things that God is doing for you or done for you, even in the moment. So something as simple as, I don't do it often, but I do it enough, where when I'm eating, I take the time to smell my food. That's part of me being grateful, right? I'm grateful for I can smell this good, whatever it is, curry chicken, oxtails, collard greens, you name it. To not just see the food and consume it, but to be thankful for it. I take it a step further. And so I'm grateful for the folks that delivered it, the drivers that took it to the supermarket. I'll take it a little further, be grateful for the guys that packed it in the boxes or bags or picked it from the trees before it got to the crates to make it to the truck to make it to the supermarket. I'm grateful for the guys who planted it, right? And watered it. And so to really kind of embody and to spend time, that's developing a sense of gratitude, when you can really sit there and appreciate the whole process of, because we are spoiled to just go to the supermarket and buy apples and fruits and bananas and whatever else we get, or stuff that are bagged, and we have completely disconnected ourselves from the earth and for the amazing instrument that God has left for us to produce all these things to support us, even to make us healthy, to make us happy. The
sunshine and the rain, and things
Yeah.
like that, having clean air, or the earth and yeah, sorry for getting excited there, but yeah, definitely. You just gotta like really break it down and you find so much to be grateful for. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And go ahead, Dr. Christie. I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah. So it's a really powerful practice to have it. If you do nothing else in life, if you can't figure out what is it to focus on, because there's so many different things people have out there in the marketplace for you to do. Do this, do this, do this. Gratitude is there's two things as a Christian that Jesus tells us to do.
Mhm.
One is to love, and the other is to be grateful, right? And so if there's two things I ever want to really just embody, is to practice compassion. And when I say practice compassion, it's not just compassion for other people, it's compassion for myself, because most people don't know how to be compassionate to themselves. And if you're not compassionate to yourself, your capacity to hold compassion for other people diminishes.
Right.
You might have some reflection of compassion, but it's not fully there because you're not compassionate with yourself, right?
That's where it starts. Do you think that's where it starts, with yourself?
I think yes. I think it's an important piece. That you pay attention to your own needs, pay attention to your own critical voices, which we all have, right? And be compassionate to yourself.
Right.
Almost coaching yourself that, oh, you know what? It was a mistake. It's okay. People make mistakes. I'm human. To have some compassion with yourself. And when you do that often, again, you're rewiring, right? You're tinkering with the brain's connection. So if you do it enough with yourself, you will also do that with other people naturally. You'll naturally see a person and see their humanity. So when they screw up or when they mess up, you can go, oh. And that doesn't mean people aren't going to do stuff that make you angry or upset, or you're not going to lose it. That's going to all happen, because that's also a part of your humanity. But if we can practice seeing the humanity in other people, like, oh, you know what? That was annoying and they really annoyed me doing that, right? To acknowledge that. That's compassion to yourself, acknowledging how you feel. But I'm going to let it go. I'm going to choose to let it go, right? That this is my choice, that I have the power. I have the power to let it go. This is a whole different thing from gratitude. That's compassion and choice, which is another powerful thing that we can gift ourselves with. Yeah. So to me, to just live, and you've mentioned some really powerful tools about how to cultivate gratitude, and keeping a gratitude journal. You do, and to start off with 3 things a day. And if you can't think of 3, think of 1. Just think of something. And I think in doing that we're not trying to think of miraculous, gigantuous things that happen in our day. Because sometimes when you feel people like, think of 3 things in your day. We're thinking of what big things happen. Think of the simple things, right? You felt the sun, right?
Yeah.
I had a coach when I was in college that was dying of lung cancer. And I went to visit him, and he said to me, he says, Mike, enjoy the sun.
Wow.
Enjoy seeing the butterflies. He says, I'm laying here and I'm longing to go outside and smell the air and see the butterflies, and I can't move. My body won't let me. And so I say all of that to say, to be grateful for the simple things. So it doesn't have to be big. Be grateful for your health, and even if your health is not perfect, it's good enough for you to be grateful for, whatever the good part is, right? This takes some practice, and it's an episode in and of itself, but learn to mourn and to celebrate. So learning to mourn, when I say that, noticing when things don't go the way you want, you can mourn it, like, it didn't happen the way I want to, and then celebrate. But you know what? This is what I've learned from it, or you know what? This other good thing happened. So learn to mourn and to celebrate, to kind of balance the mind and the spirit. Ungratefulness or noticing the negative doesn't become the author of your being, right? Exactly. The scout of your mind looking out for what is wrong all the time. So journaling is really important. I do 10 things a day.
Oh wow,
I find 10 things a day. to be grateful for.
Yeah.
I wake up with gratitude, saying that, and I go to bed with gratitude. Sometimes I just find one thing for the day. So one day I might focus on my health. What am I grateful for? My health. So all day long, I'm giving God thanks. I'm really grateful for, my health. And so it's not perfect. I'm not a 20-year-old anymore, but there's some things I can celebrate, right? And so I celebrate that. The fact that I can still walk, I don't need a walker. I got all my limbs are moving,
Right.
not moving like they used to, but still moving,
Still
right?
moving. Still moving. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So another day I might pick finances. What are the things about my finances that I'm grateful for? It might not be where I want to, but there's things I'm grateful for, right? My job. A lot of people are miserable, hate their job. But what if you found the things you actually liked about your job? And it could be, I like my coworkers, or I like a coworker, or, there's some things we can celebrate about your job. So find in the scheme of life, the wheel of life, your health, your family, your work, your career, your dreams, your health, your spiritual life. What are the things that you are? Nature, the things one of my most profound and wonderful gratitude practices, noticing the things in nature that I like. And when I'll tell you a story. And this happens to me, I wouldn't say often, but often enough that I really appreciate it. One of the things I do every morning before, or try to do, because there are days I don't do that. So I'm not trying to sit here and make you pretend that I'm some guru that, do this thing all the time. I go outside before I go into my car. Most of us have, our car somewhere, or even if our car is outside, we kind of rush to our car, especially in the wintertime in the Northeast, to find warmth. I will pause outside. I will feel the air. I'll be grateful for it. Even though it's cold, I can feel it, right? Because only a body with life can feel cold air.
Correct.
I'll look at the trees or whatever is around me, and I'll appreciate, I'll look at the trees dance and sway, and, like, hey, I'll tell myself they're greeting me, right? They're glad to see me. I'm glad to see you too.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. I'll just look at the skyline and look at the sun and feel the warmth of the sun if I can. I'll feel the earth under my feet. I don't go in the car without feeling that, right? The support that God has given us under the earth. Then I go into my car and I drive. And so I'm paying attention to nature. I'm noticing, I'll tell myself, I want to see what kind of animals I can notice today. Where I live in Connecticut, there are different critters running around, right? You're in New York, so you might have a different experience with this.
Yeah.
So one day I go out the house and there's an owl sitting on the branch. Like, wow, never seen that before. But I think it happened because I was paying attention.
Right.
I think it's happened because I had the intention of being grateful for the things that I saw. It was almost, I felt like it was a gift to me. Like, hey, you're being grateful. An owl. I think I saw it one other time, but that was pretty impressive. And so really amazing things begin to happen when you practice gratitude. And when you practice gratitude, good things start to happen to you because you just start to see and notice all the good things that are happening. It's almost like it attracts.
It does. It does. I agree. Yes, it really does. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Dr. Christie, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for pointing out all of those great things that we have before us to be grateful for on a daily basis. There is so much to be grateful for. We just need to be mindful of and pay attention. Like you said, I think it is so important to pay attention because we get so caught up in the busyness of life that we forget to stop and smell the air or feel the sun or notice the birds, just to say thank you and to be grateful. So thank you so much. And if there is one message you can leave with the audience today, please feel free to go ahead.
If you allow me, I'd like to offer a meditation prayer around gratitude.
Yes.
Invite, it will be short. I'll try to keep it about 3 to 5 minutes. So just inviting everyone to pause and to just take a breath. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Just feeling your body relax on the inhale, on the exhale rather. Exhaling and then relaxing the body. And just notice the rhythm of your breathing. Just notice how your body is breathing, the rise and fall of your abdomen or stomach, your chest. That is a gift, especially in these COVID season where our lungs are being attacked. It's a gift to have the breath. And just shifting your awareness to your mouth. And just noticing the gift of the ability to taste, to speak, to chew, and just really being grateful for that. Because everyone doesn't have that privilege, or might be hindered in some way. And then take a deep breath through your nostrils and notice what you smell.
Guys, what an awesome way to end the show today. Practicing gratitude, prayers, mindfulness, whatever it is that we need to do to just stay in tune with ourselves, to give ourselves grace, to live a life of gratitude. You've heard it today from Dr. Christie, and my apologies that we were cut off towards the end of the meditation, but you get it. And I just want to thank Dr. Christie so much for being on the show with us today, speaking about transformative gratitude. I hope that you got some really great takeaways from what he shared with us today. I know I did, and I would love for you to share some of your special takeaways from Dr. Christie today. Remember to subscribe, share, and like these videos, and it would really welcome your comments on what you learned today. Thank you. Until next time, I believe in you. I know you can do it. It's time for transformation of the mind.